actually started to record. What's wrong with me? I got my monitor all set up an hour ago. I know,
I know,
right?
it's weird. I don't like it. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to make sure that we're actually muted on YouTube when we start.
I will be. I've not got the desktop audio coming through at all, so I'm good.
Well, I've only got YouTube open at all, so I can post some links.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, if you want, I can post the links. I just need to know what you want posting. But if you've got it set up, I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
No point
it's fine.
in faffing around. But what I can do is repost those later on during the stream. So let's remind people what we're doing at around the 15-minute mark for all the newcomers, and then once again at maybe the 40-minute mark.
Sure. I'll take your lead on that.
I'll see if there's like a bounce or an influx of people. I'll base it upon the really crap stats that YouTube provide.
Yep.
Okay, we have a 1 minute. Anything that you say now may appear on stream. Buy our courses. Thank you.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'd just be thinking of Tinky Winky the whole time.
La la. Po. Be careful of what you say now. It might end up on stream. Okay. Oh. Love it. Love it.
We really need to get like a boot up.
Yeah, image. They're waiting for us now. I'm gonna press play. Hopefully, it's not too bad. Let me full screen this. Cool. We just missed that, so I'm gonna click go live. They'll wonder what the they might have got my version of that. Anyway, I think we are live. Wait for confirmation in the chat. Hopefully you can hear both of us. Hopefully things are nice and crystal clear as well. If they're not, do shout out and I will do my best to ignore it.
There we go. Yep, we are definitely live and I can hear sound. Hello, everybody.
Awesome. So a bit of a different stream tonight. We usually do one Godot a month, one Blender a month, one play stuff a month, and one big update a month. And today is a Godot day, but even better, it's a...
Today we are supporting the Go Godot Jam 4 jam in Godot 4. And I'll give you a link for that. So if you're interested in that, it's just starting. And I'll give you one of these. And there's Jelly. Hello, Jelly. There's Render. Hello, Render. There's Roderick. Hello, Roderick. So for those of you who haven't joined us before, hello, I'm Jan. And that's Mikey.
Hi. I'll be fielding the chats today.
We're here from Canopy Games. We make educational videos in Godot and Blender and some music programs that Mikey uses. And yeah, we like to make tutorials and games. And today we want to talk about how to make pretty particles in Godot. I'm probably going to be focused mostly on 3D, but we can do some 2D as well. It's basically the same thing with a couple of extra steps in 3D. I'm also going to click on Mikey's face on my screen so I don't see myself because that's really distracting and I can focus on either Mikey or the camera rather than looking down here.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely wonderful. So what are we going to look at today?
I've had a lot of coffee, so if I'm speaking really fast, Mikey, poke me.
It worked. Yes, so today we're going to be playing in Godot 4. Hopefully everything will be nice and clear. As I say, Jan's streaming to me and then I'm going bloop out to the internet. And
thanks for that, Michael.
Welcome. And hopefully everything will be nice and clear. I know from experience when we're actually playing the game, it can sometimes pixelate a little as a lot of information is going through. That's just YouTube and compression, I guess. But it is. We're doing particles, so we start playing around in Godot.
Let's do some particles. Okay, first things first, let me share my screen. Share my entire screen. My screen is shared.
Nice.
All right, Michael, can you see my screen?
Whoop. Yes, we can. More importantly, can you guys who are watching see his screen? Which will take a few moments to come across.
Also very helpful, yes. And how stuttery is my video? Because on my screen, I keep freezing on your YouTube on my side. There we go.
Yes, you do.
Good, excellent. Let's just check everyone can see what we're doing.
It's just gone live my end. And
great.
I can't set the settings super high on this here, so everybody should be able to see at 1080p if you're watching it within the YouTube player. Doesn't give me that
Jelly
option in
says
here.
he can.
Perfect.
Fantastic. All right.
Gerard,
We have
hello.
here a basic 3D scene. So it's just a node 3D that I've called base scene. And I've put that in to bring in one or more particles, and I've put in a world environment with a custom color in black, just so it's really easy to see what we're doing. I also want to talk a little bit about the assets I've brought in. So under textures, you'll see I've got particle textures and new particle textures. These particle textures, you might recognize they're part of Kenny's particle pack. It's quite hard to say. So I'm going to copy that and put that in the chat. Kenny's particle pack. There we go. I think I can. Yeah, I can put links in. I'm a mod, so that works.
Yeah.
So these textures are from Kenny's particle pack. I've also downloaded a free set of brushes or a couple of free abstract brushes for GIMP and just made some of these, right? So just some basic abstract blobs we can use.
Oh, nice.
Because we can make some fun shapes out of this. One more thing I've done, if I bring in, let's say, color rect, I have gone to low spec and I've added in some favorite colors. This is from the Gotham 30 palette pack, which I'll also link in case you want to play with it. I don't know why I always like doing that, but I do that a lot. Let's put that there as Gotham 30 color palette, which is spelled wrong, but I'm doing it. Okay. Let's talk about first steps, because setting up a particle is quite easy, but there's some things you can do to make things really awesome. So we're going to make a real, well, actually, before we make a basic, we'll do a quick rundown. I'm going to make a particle. And instantly you can see in 3D and in 2D, we've got CPU particles and GPU particles. We're going to be using GPU particles. CPU particles are great when you're creating for mobile devices that may not have all of the tricks available, or for much older computers. I'm not doing that, so I'm going to be using GPU particles. I want all the bells and whistles. You'll also notice, first thing that happens is we get this big bounding box. It shows us where the particle will be. This can be very useful, but isn't for our purposes. It's just going to make everything look yellow. To get rid of that, I'm going to go to View, Gizmos, and find my GPU particles, and click that, and it's gone. The particle is still there. Well, right now there's no particle, but the particle emitter is still there, but the bounding box is gone. Just to make things a little bit simpler. Okay. In order for a particle to show in 3D, we need two things. We need a process material and a draw pass. If we're making a 2D particle, let me just bring that in. So GPU particles, we would just need a texture. And the reason we just need a texture for 2D is we won't be needing to tell it what kind of mesh it's making. It's a two-dimensional texture. It doesn't need to know, am I a plane, am I a cube, or the rest of it.
That makes sense.
In the vast majority of cases, the draw pass is going to want to be a quad. And if I put in, actually you can't see this against the black, can you? If I change the custom color real quick for, let's say, gray, there you can see we have a quad. It's only visible from one side. It's effectively a plane, but gray on gray is terrible. Let's go back to black. And we're going to want a process material. I'm going to do a particle process material. You can do a shader if you want. You don't have to. Just to see what's going on right now, let's turn that to, I don't know, red. So we have a red background with no lighting, and we have a single quad that is dropping over a course of a second and being copied 8 times. How do I know that? I go to my GPU particles. Thank you, GPU particles. No, that's a world. Go to my GPU particles.
Yay.
I click on the particle process. I go to gravity. I can see there's 8 of them. Click on time. They last a second, and they are moving down at negative 9.8. Okay. Before we play with our particle process materials, let's head over to our draw passes. Click on the quad, and there's some basic setup we want to do. It's all under materials. So, well, you can change the basic size. If you want your particle to be bigger or smaller, you can make the quad bigger or smaller. But I want to go to here and I want to make a new standard material and let's get the party started. All right. All of our textures are using transparency. So very first thing under transparency, let's go alpha. And for now, let's just bring in a standard Kenny circle. I don't know what we're going to make yet. I want to put that in under alpha so we can see it. All right. So right now we have no lighting. We have basic black and white image on red. We're going to make that look pretty in a second. There's a couple of other things I like to do. Blend mode is on mix. Pin that. We're going to change that in a minute. It's going to have a really cool effect. Go to shading. Let's go to unshaded. You don't necessarily need to do this, but if our particle wants to look like a light source rather than something that's being lit, you want to do unshaded. So if it's shaded, if it's doing per pixel, and I put, let's say, an omni light in here, and I move that over there, you can see the light reacting through the particle. This makes it look like a solid object. But if I make it unshaded, which I will do by clicking on the material.
I suppose it's a good way of thinking about it if you want your particle to actually be uninterrupted by the lighting in your scene to make it more readable.
Well, what is the particle going to be, right? Like, is this a bit of dust from when you're landing, in which case it probably wants to be lit by the lighting?
Yeah.
Or is it a fireball, in which case it really doesn't want to be with the lighting? Putting it to unshaded makes it look like it's emitting light. Let's actually change this for the fire albedo. And to make this a little clearer, I'm going to go back to my process real quick and turn off gravity. And now that this is unshaded, I can go back to my world environment and turn that to black. There we go. So this just looks like a standard texture.